about the future of the tournaments and the esport, and ESL pulled back just a couple of months ago, at the same time that we had the EWC announcement for StarCraft 2. So if you aren't already looking forward to watching more high-tier StarCraft 2 action, this is another reason to do it, to watch what could potentially be the last time that you have such a setup, where you have everyone offline, talent as well as players, a huge production, all the trophy lifts, and all that good jazz. So yeah, make sure to tune in. I am giving you this video to make sure that you know how to tune in and where and when and why and all that good stuff. So let's dive into it. First and foremost, the when. It is happening July 22nd to July 25th. That is a Tuesday to Friday. Simply, they don't have enough in their schedule for all the esports that they do with the Esports World Cup to have everyone have their championship on Sunday. So our championships are going to be on a Friday. Where can you watch? Well, first of all, you could be going to Saudi Arabia. You could be going to Riyadh to actually watch in person. There is a crowd segment, but I'm sure most of you are more interested in the online where to watch. And that is going to be found on their official website, actually. So you can see there's YouTube, that is at EWC. Twitch A stream is going to be EWC_SNB Arena_EN. And the B stream just has a 2 at the end of that EN. And I will be posting that down below, so you make sure you can easily access it, and there'll be tweets and people posting in Discord, of course, as well. Then also the why I like to go over, even though it might seem painfully obvious. But once again, we do have the gigantic prize pool, 700,000 USD up for grabs for 18 players. And then you also have the club championships, which there they are. We once again have the club championships going on for the entirety of the EWC. So Team Liquid, for instance, actually benefited heavily from Clem winning last year's tournaments. That helped to propel them into like second or third or something like that. Whereas, without it, they were going to be way, way lower. So that is once again going to impact just kind of a way to try and encourage teams to really diversify and have a lot of players from a lot of different games. And actually something that I think is probably one of the coolest additions from any tournament is to be able to actually coordinate this. But as you can see, 1,000 club points. And then I think they changed the rules, so there's not as much emphasis on getting a victor. But you know what? Don't even. I'm not even going to begin because I'm not even quite sure. But I will be at the time I'm in and actually casting. So just know that they're playing for, of course, $200,000 at the first place prize. Everyone does get paid something just for being there, and then they're also trying to contribute for their overall team, because the team winner of the club points also gets like a bunch of money, and I'm sure they provide for the players who got them those points. Then we're going to talk about the how, as some people are, not constantly involved in StarCraft 2 and are wondering how the people got here, especially since we didn't have a circuit this time, so it was not as much of a build-up and maybe not as obvious. So we'll talk about that, just going over the qualifier page on Wikipedia, but then also to the announcement they made when they announced EWC. So you had one title defender invited, that is Clem. He won last year. Then you had online qualifiers, Korea, Europe, America, Asia, and then a global qualifier, which also was called the Last Chance qualifier. 2 from the GSL seasons that we had, the 2 GSL seasons, top 4 from DreamHack Dallas, and 1 from the Belém Gens Elite Star Zagora, which was a tournament held in Bulgaria. And to go back to these qualifiers, which actually is just really on the main page, to be honest, you can also see the breakdown as to how that did occur. So again, Clem, Esports World Cup 2024, Korea qualifier, it's kind of going into the who as well. It's going to be Zaun and Cure winning that one. Europe was Raynor and Cyril. Americas was Trigger. Asia was Firefly, but he was found to be match fixing, and hadn't even a official investigation into this and all that. So yeah, a lot of drama around that one. He is then replaced by Lancer, who is probably one of the follow-ups of the actual Asia qualifier. You might know him as Cyan. That might be a little more familiar. GSL Season 1 was won by Hero, Season 2 by Classic, but Classic had already gotten a spot from DreamHack Dallas, so Rogue got the spot. And from DreamHack Dallas, you had Classic, Maro, Shin, and Solar. Belém Gens Elite Star Zagora was not won by Showtime, but again, the winner already had their slot, so it just kind of bounced down until Showtime was able to get it. And then from the global qualifier play-in stage, which you might have seen Roddy and I cast, you had Estrella, Beyond, Hero Marine, and Lambo. And now let's talk really about the how people are going to be playing it out, because that sometimes is confusing. I would say this actually isn't confusing. In the grand scheme of all StarCraft 2 formats, this is not confusing at all, actually. But it is worthy to note that, yes, 18 players are listed. 6 16 players are going to be part of, I guess, the so-called like main tournament. I don't know if that's the official wording, but we have a play-in stage of the 4 people who made it through these global qualifiers. So only 2 of these people will actually go into the groups that are set up. And if you do advance out of your play-in stage, congrats, you face either Clem or Cyril. Yeah, good luck with that one. And when you're into the group stages, we've got Group A and Group B. You can see that it is upper and lower. And whoever qualifies gets sent into the playoffs. These are best of 3s to begin with. And then everything else, including lower bracket, is going to be best of 5. And usually with the seeding, right, you got the upper qualified players facing the people who qualified to the lower bracket in the quarterfinals. Semis, and then grand final, which is once again a best of 9. You also have a third place match, not typical among StarCraft 2 tournaments, but there is a $20,000 difference between third and fourth, so that definitely is going to get played. And it's usually a way for either the stream to get more viewership as the day goes on, because you want some build-up, but also to give the grand finalists time to prep, at least a little bit, especially the second semifinals that play, the first semifinals gets a little longer of a break. It's not really fair. Last year, we had a free-for-all that took up that time. That was actually kind of fun. This time around, it's going to be a third-place match. And the last thing I want to talk about is the last of the Who, which is the talent lineup. It's a lot of familiar faces. It won't be exactly this lineup, but it's not really for me to talk about. Just know that there will be at least one change here. A lot of usual faces. We got Sandstorm instead of Fancy this time around as the Arabic stage host. Seltzer's coming back. Kalaris, always a solid on the desk host. He's going to be doing PUBG like immediately after, but he loves us so much, he's making sure to do StarCraft 2. And then some people did note this whole analyst versus caster difference, which I also noted when I was being talked to about this. And I asked the right people and got the answer, which is that it should just be like a normal tournament. That is, StarCraft people, we don't only do desk or only do casting. We swap around. So as far as I understand it, that is how it is going to work. If it's not, I will rebel. I don't want to be chained to the analyst desk. The other thing is that they didn't really differentiate, but there is actually a B stream set up. So it's not like A stream, like everyone's on the A stream and we just kind of rotate off to the B stream. It was Demu, Fear Dragon, and State. Maybe that's going to change. That are going to do the B stream. They are being flown out to be on sites, but they are doing B stream, which is basically only the first and second day, and not a terrible amount of work, but just to keep in mind, that's why there were 2 Twitch channels as well, for instance, and there are a lot of really good games happening right off the bat, so you probably want to have that B stream up right off the bat as well. This isn't one of those situations where you have a bajillion B streams because we're in some type of qualifier stage. I mean, they're going to be covering maybe like Trigger Maru, or Shin Rainer, or whatever we decide to do. So just keep that in mind. And I think that just about does it. It's going to be, again, July 22nd, 25th, $700,000 on the line, participating in the club championships as well. It's going to be in Riyadh, but you can watch on the YouTube as well as the Twitch channels that I pointed out and are down below. All the players I talked about. If you are interested in my predictions and how this is going to go, well, of course, that's the next video coming up. So hopefully, if you didn't know anything about EWC, you now know, and hopefully you guys are going to make sure to tune in to, again, what could be the last really premier StarCraft 2 tournament where everyone gets to go offline and a gigantic prize pot is available at the end of the road. So not down on a bummer note, just hope that everyone is there and supporting StarCraft 2 while you can. And yeah, that's about it. Follow the Twitter of this as well as the Twitter of all the casters and whatnot to find out more about it. And I will be seeing you guys on the main broadcast with all my lovely co-casters. So see you then. Thanks for watching and have a good rest of your week. Bye-bye.